Okay, hello and welcome to my Python tutorial. Today we are going to be going over input and output. So I'm going to put a link. So there's the two file types we're going to go over are text files and CSV files. There's a bunch of other file types. There's JSON, I think there's BSON, there's XML. We're not going to go over those. They all have libraries for them that you can look up and use, but we're going to go over CSV and text. So to do this, we need to import the CSV. It's either module or package, it's one of those two. Also, I'm going to put a link to all the CSV documentation here that comes with Python so that you can look at the documentation if you need more detailed explanation. So we import it. Now, first we're going to go over just printing and user input. So for printing, you just use print, parenthesis, the string you want to print, close parentheses. So print hello world. If you're only printing one value, you can do print, say 7. It's an integer, but since it's only one value, that works. Now I can print 7 plus 5. I can print math, whatever I want to do. But if I say different data types, so I say print 7 plus hello world, it's not going to work because they're different data types. So you just need to print the same data type is what it boils down to. Then we have user input. So user input, let's actually put in print. Here's a cool thing you can do with print. I want a line of dashes. I want it to be 16 dashes long. I could type out 16 dashes. Or you can do that character times 16. Or let's do it underneath hello world so you can see it immediately. Print, see this. Let's put it in our apostrophes times 5. And it prints out that sequence 5 times. But anyway, so that's a cool little neat trick. So for input, in IPython, it comes up with the box you type in your input. So I'm going to type in 7. You can see it printed 7 as the input version. Let's quick new text document, test.py. Okay, yes, I want to change the file extension. Let's edit with Notepad++. So I say print, enter input. Input equals input. Come on. Text equals input. Print this times 16. Come on. Print input text. Okay. So if we save that, you can run Python from command line. I'll show you. You write Python, then the name of it, so test.py, hit enter, it runs in the command line. So enter our input. We'll enter 86, prints out 86. If we do 86 times 5, prints out 86 times 5, whatever. So that's running it from the command line, as well as input, output. Let's get back here. Then we can do file reading and writing. So for that, you do with open parenthesis, the name of the file is a string, comma, then there's 3 options, or there's multiple options. There's R is read, is, come on, write, RB is read binary, WB is write binary. So we have our text file here. It says this is a test of the file input and new line output in Python. I'm attempting to make a multi-line new line string and have it written to a file. That's this string right here. That's how I wrote it to the file. I'll get to that in a second. If we read it, we can see it's printed out. So what I did is I used text, so with open as the name of the file. So I named it fin is the variable it's all going to go to. So text is fin.reads. This reads in all the information in the file right here. Lines equals text.split. This split command splits the string into a list. I'll go over lists later, but it splits the string into a list at this character you told it. So I told it to split, add a new line. For line and lines, we're going to go over loops in another episode. But so that's for every single line in this list of lines, it's going to print out the line. So it printed out the first line, then the second line here, then the third line. All right, so this next one is I declare the text output, so I create a variable of it. And then it's the same as with open, file name and everything, but I did W, so we're going to write it. I named it f out just to keep it clear. Then you do fout.write and whatever you want to write. So we're actually going to write this in binary. Let's close that. And we a bytes-like object is required, so you have to do, I think it's bytes, then put it in parentheses, and then write it. And then in Python 3, you have to declare an encoding. I use utf.8 most of the time, and it writes it. If we go to text.txt, it still shows to us, but now it's written as binary. We can then, oh wait, I did write it in binary. Yeah, but then I can write it in normal text by getting rid of bytes and the encoding. So let's change this to a file, and I just changed the text a little bit. So now we run it, we open up text.txt, and I just changed text a little bit. So that's how you write to a file. And if I want to read from it, I run this again, and you can now see, and I just changed text a little bit, it read that. So next is CSVs. Now, normally you name CSV files. The reason I named it .txt is you can do that as well, but it's because IPython, if I tried to open the CSV here, it just downloads it, and I want us to be able to see it. So this is the CSV. I copied this code from the CSV documentation. I've used it before. It works very well. But so spam, 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 baked beans, spam, lovely spam, wonderful spam, 1, 2, 3. I added the 1, 2, 3. The rest is all taken from them. But so if we read this and print out everything from it, you can see you need this reader is a CSV reader. Now you need a delimiter that tells you what is between each field, essentially, because the CSV is like an Excel document or LibreOffice. Or I think it's called Numbers for Mac. So it's a bunch of set rows and columns, it's a bunch of cells. The delimiter tells you what's between each cell. A new line denotes a new row. So we want actually a quote char to be quote like that, an actual quote character. So I'm telling it that a comma tells it a new thing. So I'm going to use this write cell, which is very similar, to write it. And now, if we go and look at testcsv.txt, you can see there's commas separating every single value. Originally there were spaces because that's the CSV code has a delimiter as spaces. So you can put it as anything you want. So let's go back to input output. The writer, you just need a CSV writer, same delimiter, quote char. Quoting is, you can read more about that in the documentation. And then you just write row, write row, write row. And when you're reading it, it's again a loop for a row in the reader, and then you can do whatever you want with those rows. So that's input output. And next time we will be going over loops. So that's going to be helpful.